Hi there, I'm Nick Solar and welcome to this series. Today's topic is goal setting part 1. Now, I'm going to bring you goal setting part 1 and goal setting part 2. So let me get straight into it. So goal setting part 1, I believe that there's a few different steps that we need to look at. Now, there's different ways that you can write goals. Whatever works for you works great. But I want to show you one that works for me and that I use with my clients. And it's called the SMART principle. Now, a lot of people have heard this. So with the SMART principle, it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And let me give you an understanding of this. Now, let's say, I walked into a restaurant and I sat down and the waitress came up to me or the waiter came up to me and he said, what would you like, sir? And I go, I'm just hungry, just kind of, get me whatever. And they sort of asked me again, would you like to have a look at the menu? No, just, I'm hungry and just get me whatever. So they go into the kitchen, they speak to the chef and the chef says, okay, well, he hasn't really specified what he wants. Why don't we just, give him whatever? So, he just gets some, different types of food, puts them on a plate, brings them back to me. And the waiter comes in or the waitress comes in and she goes, here you go, Nick, here's your food. And, I look down at the plate and I'm like, well, you know what, I don't really eat any of these. I mean, I don't like any of these. It's a plate full of Brussels sprouts. Funny enough, I quite like Brussels sprouts. It's a plate full of food that you don't like. So, what's the moral of that story? In other words, what I didn't do was I wasn't specific about what I wanted. Often there's a menu in a restaurant so you can be specific about what you want, what you like, what you don't like. Well, guess what? It's exactly the same with goal setting. If you're not specific about your goal, well, how do you know how to reach it? How will it cover that SMART formula? So let's look at it like this. A lot of business owners just go with their goals, I'd like to be richer than what I am, or I'd like to have a better business than what I have now, or I'd like to have, a better car than what I have now, or be in a better relationship. Well, that's okay, but it isn't really specific. I mean, how much better is better? How can you possibly, measure that? Is it, I'm feeling great one day, feeling a bit better the next? Now, if you're specific, so let's say this, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm earning $10,000 a month, and it is on or before the 31st of, June 2013. Now, that had specific in there. It had measurable. So I want to earn this much money by this date. It had something that's attainable. So if you're, making X amount of dollars at the moment and you're close to that margin or, 20 or 30% away, well, that's definitely attainable. Now, is it realistic? That'll have to depend on, what you do, the type of business that you're in, what product or service you sell. So that's up to you. You just need to check out those things. Now, and is it timely? Yes, because I said, I want to do it by June. So do you see there, now I'm getting a lot more precise on what I need to do in that level of goals. So why don't you do this exercise? Why don't you get a pen and paper, or you can do it on your computer, and start to write down 5 personal goals and 5 business goals, and be specific with them, be measurable with them, be attainable, be realistic, and be timely. In other words, try to really paint that clear picture of when you want this goal achieved by, how you're going to achieve this goal, what that goal is going to bring for you, and how you can, really internalize that and be clear with it, and also be able to write it and show somebody, that goal that you're setting. I hope you enjoyed this series. If you'd like to see some more of my work, you can check me out on Twitter, on Facebook, or on LinkedIn, or if not, you can go to my website. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day.